Ah, all right, party people. All right, with you. All right. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Trying to get all this stuff together. I mean, I'm literally me and the family. We just getting home about an hour ago, and so I didn't have time to prep nothing today. So make sure y'all hit the like button so the notifications can go out. Share with your friends, share on your social media. Because I found out I could do StreamYard. I can stream on Instagram, and I was gonna set that up today, but I had some money making opportunities, and I had to jump on them. So went and did that today. Had to upgrade my dream host here. I mean, not dream host. That's my web hosting server. My StreamYard, so I could do 1080p. So now I'm doing stuff in 1080p. Get good high quality. I got my new camera, so that's popping and everything. And seems like everybody's enjoying themselves. All right, that's okay. You got a 7 o'clock signing. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Yeah. Jessica is tearing it up, y'all. Y'all better watch out. Jessica is new and she's getting it. She is getting it. She's doing her thing. Whoo, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh man. So how's everybody been going? How's this week? We're gonna take our time a little bit. We ain't gonna rush through. So talk to me, y'all. How's your week? What's been going on with you? Have you been getting any signings? Have you seen an increase? Has things gotten slower or stayed about the same? Any other new opportunities, things of that nature? Um, this week I don't even you know what? That's a good question. What did this week look like for me? Oh man. Um this week, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 this week, including today, December the 1st. So 13, you take the today out. No, no, I'm sorry. No, 12. My bad. Nope. No, no, no. Those other appointments. So I think 11. No, just 11. So it was a little slower this week. I think I did under 60 this month. So that's going to drop my stats down a little bit and everything, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, yeah. This is. I'll tell you. Yeah, I like this new camera. This new camera. I told you. You see how I be tracking me? I like that feature. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. So, oh man, oh man. So, um, stuff is good, y'all. Stuff is good. Nope, I don't want that. I'm just checking some stuff here. All right. And I think I am good to go. There we go. All right. Had to get my camera back straight the way I want it. I think I'm straight. Um, yeah, I think hold on. There we go. Had to go back a little bit. But yeah, I hope everybody's been having a good one and everything. Let's see. You say I got two more notifications that I accepted, but no actual sign. Now remember what my video said. Depending on which platform you're on, you didn't really accept it. You just acknowledged that you were available. Because on signature closers, if you hit it, it's yours. Bank serve, if you hit it, it's yours. But on SnapDocs and signing order and some of the other ones, when you hit that button, It's basically saying that I am available, I'm interested, but it's not that you have accepted. And I get what you're saying because I was thinking the same thing when I first said, yeah, I accept that order. It's really just asking, are you available? And it's really up to them to accept you. So in this case, they didn't. And I got to see. Somebody sent me something today, and I got to see if I can pull it up real quick. I'm gonna see if I can. I have to email it to myself so y'all can see what's going on. I want y'all because this here is going to help y'all out. Um, all right, so let's see. Yeah, here we go. I can email this to myself, and then we can pull this up. And okay, so I got that one, and then we got this one because y'all, yeah, y'all need to see some stuff. So, because I want y'all to see this stuff so y'all can know what the heck is going on out here, in these notary streets with these companies and how they're viewing things. Because if you don't know, then you'll be thinking that you're doing something wrong, and you really aren't. You really aren't doing anything wrong. It's just they got these whacked out requirements, and it's a little jacked up. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. How I want to do this. I hope this. All right. So let's see if we got. Let's see if this will show up there for y'all real quick. And it said, got notifications coming through, including $20 loan app 2 hours away. I know. Um, that's good. But yeah, Terry, you keep doing it. The order's gonna keep. They're gonna the notifications come. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. All right. So let's see if this shows up good on here. Oops, gotta add you to the screen. All right. So I hope. Here we go. There we go. So this here is a notification that somebody received, and let's just read through it. Okay, this is from Notary Go. So it's saying approval required. So the person has 0 times that they've done any type of closings, and right now they're not getting selected. This is Notary Go, and it's saying the loan application, this, that, and the other, and this talks about all the requirements and everything. So basically, because this individual has not had any signings, it's like they're not doing them, and approval is required. So somebody within this company, Notary Go, has to approve that individual to take a loan application. You get what I'm saying? So this is the kind of stuff that's going on. And it's like, well, what do I need? What is it that I need in order to get approved? And it's like, sometimes it's like nobody knows. And they're not really telling you at all. But this is what some of you might be seeing when you're dealing with Notario, that 0 times used, approval required. And I remember this, I forgot about it because it's been so long. And see, like me, I had only done like 14 or 15 closings with Notary Go. And I remember you had to get some kind of approval, and I can't remember the process. It may have changed. So that's the kind of stuff that some of you are faced with right now, is that you haven't gotten approval, whatever that means. Then what else here? Then there was another one. Let's see how I want to show this one. Let me see here. I'm gonna have to download this one. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to download this one. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Like I told you, I was not prepared. I just been scrambling all day, and And let me see if I can pull this up. I have to put it in my PowerPoint real quick. But I'm glad y'all, those of you who are getting notifications, you are. And we're gonna get into the topic tonight, the know your worth ideology. That's a big one. That is a big one. And people need to understand that. So let's see here. I don't be knowing how to use these I'm an IT guy and don't be knowing how to use these daggone things. Insert. All right. Pictures from this device. All right, there we go. There we go. Um, there we go. All right, so now what I need to do, I need to draw something that's highlighter. All right. All right. I just wanted to take out the person's name and everything. Just wanted to make sure people's names. Got to protect the innocent and semi guilty. All right. So here we go. So let's see here. Let me pull this up. All right. Hope I ain't got nobody's name in. All right. So this is Snap from SnapDocs to a notary saying you recently responded as available to a signing notification from Coast to Coast Signings. Unfortunately, you didn't get a sign. However, I think I can help you increase your chances in the future. When a company uses SnapDocs to find a notary signing agent, we return a ranked list of nearby notaries. Then the company uses our notification system to contact each notary one at a time until they find a notary who's available and would and who they'd like to work with. In order to get more signings, it's essential to be ranked highly. Now, most of y'all know when you look at your notary, your not notary go, but your SnapDocs profile, it says highly ranked. So if it says highly ranked, then what the heck is the problem? Why am I not getting any orders if it says highly ranked? Okay. Then it says talk about SnapDocs is more you can track and this, that, and the other, and that's it. That's not really helping me because if you look at your SnapDocs profile, it says that you are already highly ranked. That's the somewhat weird part is that you are already highly ranked. I'm just trying to find this thing quick. Is this it? Okay. So, all right, yeah, this is it. So let me put log in to SnapDocs and I'll show y'all. Let's see if I can show y'all. So hold on one second. I gotta do something real quick. I gotta show y'all. Let me do it this way because I can't. I gotta protect people's privacy and all that good stuff. And so let's drop you down and boom. So y'all can see right here. Most of y'all see this in your profile, highly ranked. If you're highly ranked, then the question is, then what's stopping me? Now, here's what I do know with SnapDocs. SnapDocs tends to send it. They say SnapDocs sends it out one at a time, so they'll send it to. So let's do it this way. So they'll sit there and they'll send the notification to Dreams. And if Dream said nope, she don't want it, then they'll send it to Tamika. Tamika says no, they'll send it to Planning. Then they'll send it to Terry. And then if somewhere along the line Terry decides to accept it, well, it might still go out to dark room, but by the time it hits dark room, it might be gone. So you might see the notification, but it already been accepted. And that's the the weird part of how this all works. So a lot of the signing companies say, well, we have this tier system, first, second, and third. If you're new in this business, and you're, tier one, tier two, tier three. If this is you, tier one, two, and three, and if you are starting off as a new notary, more than likely you're gonna be down here. You see what I'm saying? You know, very new notaries. You're gonna be down here. You know, somewhat new notaries, and then you're gonna have your old head notaries. So depending on in your area, this is just my take on it. If in your area you have, let's just say 75 old heads, you got another, let's just say you got 85 somewhat new notaries, and then you got 120 very new notaries, and you're only getting, and let's just say the number of orders coming through your area, we'll just go say in a day, in one day is, let's just say 20. And those 20 orders are at least, remember now, the notary said we got to get paid. So let's just say they're at least 125 a pop. Do you think you ever going to get an order? Because you got 75 people who are going to hop on that unless they're already booked. And let's just say only 5 are available, the other 70 got stuff going on. Well, that means the 15, the other 15 from this year is going down to these 85. So how do you get it down here? And the way you get these orders is when they send out stuff called loan applications, loan apps, debt settlements. Sorry if I'm spelling stuff wrong, stuff like that. Reverse mortgage applications. Those things, these folk up here, tier one and tier two, they don't want to do. Another thing you can do to get in this mix is trailing docs, meaning documents and things of that nature that, 1 or 2 pages that need to get, signed or maybe notarized. You go do those, because to be honest, the old heads and the somewhat new notaries, they don't want to touch that stuff, because these things here typically, you know, um, pay less than, most of the time pay less than $85. So if these pay less than $85, them cats ain't wanting it, especially if they have the know your worth ideology, which we're gonna get into. So if their mindset is on the know your worth ideology, oh yeah, I got that's beneath me, then some they're here. So are you going to take it? But just imagine if they have the know your worth dash I, if they got the know your worth dash I, ideology, and they got the same thing, and then y'all have the same thing, who's going to do an order? When does any of these orders get done, or any order that comes beneath what the ideology says it should be? That's the question. So a lot of people, I know you want to make money, and we all do, but you got to start somewhere. And the question is, how do you get started? What are you going to do? How do you get them to give you what you say you want when you can't even get them to give you a order? You can't even catch it because you basically got what you got over 150 people that are sitting up here. You got 160 people. That's what the old tier one and tier two in this example equals. You got 160 people before you. And then let's just say you're part of that 120. So you got 120 plus, well, we'll just say you got hold on. You got 119 because you're one of the people plus the 160 from you got 279 people that's ahead of you or can potentially be ahead of you. How do you get to the top, people? That's the question. How does cream rise to the top? You got to find a way to rise to the top. You got to find a way to get up there and get noticed and paid at the same time. That's the dilemma. And if you are a type of person who do not want to do the work to get to the top and you just feel it should be given to you, then I have nothing to say. I don't know what to say. Tell you, you do you and everything. All right. So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Uh, Close that out. So let me bring up my stuff here. Okay. So to start off with, and this comment here, where is it? There it is. This comment here that we saw about 2 weeks ago says in the networking meeting last month, a bunch of notaries jumped all over a new notary for doing a notarization for $25. It came off as shamey, but it was more about education. I still don't understand that, that statement. Then it says, now she knows her worth. And see, here's the quirky thing about that. We always say your worth is what somebody will pay you, right? That's what we say. Your worth is determined by what somebody will pay you. Here's what's weird about that whole scenario of going to a networking meeting and a bunch of notaries jumping on somebody about it, about what money they getting paid. The people who are jumping on her aren't the people who are paying her. So if your worth is determined by the people who pay you and the people who are jumping on you and fussing at you and educate you, shamecation you, okay, that's what it's going to be called, shamecation, okay, shaming and educating, shamecation. You're getting shamecated, and none of those people are paying you. So now you have to take the ideology. And we're going to get into the understanding of what an ideology is. Those who don't know, and if anybody's understands ideology, feel free to drop something in the chat. But now you got to take their ideology, what they say you should be paid, they're not paying you, but what they're saying that you need to make other people pay you, even though they don't think you need to be paid that, but you're going to make them pay you that, and you got to go out there and do it. That's the part that's messing me up. They got me all twisted because I'm sitting here like people trying to buy a house. I mean, sell a house. Well, your house is worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. You're offering a service. They buy your product because they feel that it's worth that. Or maybe in some cases they have no choice. But nonetheless, it's typically about 90% of the time it's because they feel that it's worth that. So how do you go from I'm cool with 25 or I'm gonna start off with 25 and then by the end of some networking meeting, yeah, I need to be paid 100. Why? Primarily because somebody told you and they said this is what they do. And this and this is where the ideology come in. And forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. The ideology comes in. Because you need to understand what ideology is, okay? So let's look at what ideology is as a real quick definition. and you can look it up on Google and all of that. But it says here, an ideology is a set of opinions or beliefs of a group or an individual. Very often, ideology refers to a set of political beliefs or a set of ideas that characterize a particular culture. And to me, this culture of this thing of know your worth is based off of people's opinion, because when you ask them, and many of you here, some of the people who've been here longer, y'all know that one of the things that I ask all the time, and I've done that in my comment section: how do you calculate a person's worth? And no one has been able to tell me that. They say, well, that's up to them. So what I don't understand, and yes, it says capitalism, Marxism. In other words, it's a bunch of isms. So in other words, it's the know your worth ism that a lot of people are pushing out here. And a lot of people have heard me ask the question, how do you calculate somebody's net worth? What is the formula that you use to say this is my net worth? And over again, it's centered around how much they spent in this business, how much they're willing to go and say, quote unquote, go above and beyond and do the white glove service and add this and add that and all of these extras. And it's like, I need to be compensated for that. What a lot of people don't understand with business, there are things you're going to add into your business that you'll never get properly compensated for. There's things that you just have to do. You're never going to get compensated for all of the insurance that you bought and paid for. One of my insurance policies is $500 a year. Okay, that's the business policy, the business owner policy, on top of the 300 and some buck E&O. So I'm paying $800 a year in insurance. No one order is going to give me that back. It comes back over time, but that's a cost of doing business. Okay. And this is where we're at. So I'm sitting here like, okay, if you can't communicate to me how you calculated your costs to say this is what you're worth, but you're telling me I need to do something that says I'm worth this, I don't understand how a person can do something when they don't know how to do it. Now, one of the things that I've learned is that people tend to get core values mixed up with ideology. So let's look at what the definition of core value is. Core values are deeply ingrained principles that guide all of a company's actions. They serve as a cultural cornerstone. Succinctly defined, Collins and Porras succinctly define core values as being inherent and whatever that word is. Y'all know even word. That's what I need to wife. They can never be compromised either for convenience or short-term economic gain. So some people think that their ideology is a core value. And the reason why, and I'm going to show you another article, the reason why I say it's not, because most time ideologies is about you. Core values is how you operate with the public and those who are you're serving. Your core values in how your business operates, and your business is doing what? Serving others. And ideology focus more so on you getting what you feel you want, but the person don't feel your work that well. They're going to feel it when I come to them. They're going to pay me. So ideology is about you, and it's about making those around you believe that. So when you have an ideology, people come into the fold or come around you, and if you sense that they don't believe the same, you either excommunicate them or you sort of browbeat them down into adopting it. Ideologies cost money. That's why you see a lot of these little groupings and stuff. Core values is a free thing. You either have it or you don't. And you can learn core values and it's free. You're working for a company and then they teach you certain principles and things of that nature. And it's like, oh, okay. And that becomes your core value. But when it comes to having a certain ideology, you have to adopt everything that those people are saying even if you don't necessarily agree with it, okay? You're like, well, I'm fine with taking a $50 order. I'm fine with taking an 85. And they're like, no, that's beneath you. Why is it beneath me? And this is what I'm bringing this up because this is going to be an ongoing mantra for these people over and over and over again. Um, it says the motto of the American Legion Auxiliary is service, not self. It's a good mindset for public service. And that's the thing, because when you think about what ideologies are all about, the people who jumped, went at the Capitol, that was an ideology that wasn't it what 44, 42, whatever they give was was out of office, and they're like, no, he's not. That's an ideology. The truth is telling you so and so ain't there no more. Yes, he is. And we're going to show you that he is. And we're going to storm and we're going to make them and we're going to put him back in. That's an ideology. That has nothing to do with core values. It's all about self. That that supremacy, that this color supremacy, got to be careful on YouTube, but this color supremacy is about what? Ideology. And here's the thing, other thing about ideologies. Ideologies are always about somebody's out to get me. They're also getting you. And people who trying to promote an ideology, they always got you thinking that that somebody who is not you or who's not a part of that group is out to get you. They tell you Griff is out to get you. Griff is trying to keep you from making money. I ain't trying to keep you from making money. You do you, because the public will say, you know what? They messing with you because they're going to feel your heart. They're going to know your spirit as you come out there to them. But when you think about ideologies, it's always about somebody is trying to get you and stop you and lessen you and demean you and call you this, that, and the other. So now we need to band together and fight against these people. And then the question is, where's the proof of that? That's the question. Where's the proof of that? And no one has been able to definitively prove to me. Now, do you have some companies who might be a little upset? Yeah. But then one of the things you also have with ideologies, the people who are in those ideologies, a lot of times they're not disciplined. They're not really good at what they do. They are real flashy. They talk a lot. They come across very braggadocious. But when you get down and you get to the core of it, they really don't know how to do what they're supposed to do. And sometimes they can't stay focused long enough to do anything. One day they're like, well, I'm doing notary. And the next thing you know, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I don't want to say, because people are like, oh, you picking, I ain't picking on them. I'm just telling you the truth. There are some notaries right now, y'all, that started out back in 2020. And y'all was all over their social media. Y'all was following them left and right. And then all of a sudden, they disappeared because the ideology of I know my worth was no longer supported in the notary world when things started changing. So they had to go somewhere else so they can say, over here, I know my worth. My worth is diminished. Okay, well, I can't get what, and then we go over here. And they're bouncing around all over. So people with a lot of different, with these ideologies, a lot of times they're not stable. All of a sudden they're here, they're there, and then all of a sudden they just disappear on you. Ideology people will have you come to a conference, not show up and not give you your money back, and then come back on the scene and guess what? Ask you for some more. That is just across the board. That is across the board. What's going on, Matthew? And you're right, that is a cult-like mentality. Right. That's what I'm saying. And you have to be careful of that because we're public servants. And see, here's the thing within our realm and even the political realm, ideologies, ideologies keep public servants from serving the public. It's about party lines. It's about doing what the party wants done. Core values is about how can we be better at what we do that for the people who come and get our product or service. That's what core values do. I'm going to find a way. I'm not going to take any shortcuts and this, that, and the other. I'm going to find a way to get it out there and do it right so everybody benefits. Now, most people know that as a notary, you do not have to charge to do notary acts. People, in my opinion, with the "I know my worth" ideology, are very wouldn't do any free notarizations, wouldn't discount anything, because if you set the standard and saying this is my worth, and you come to me and you can't pay me, then I don't need to do any business for you, and that's not public service. That's why I say ideologies tend to move people away from public service. They get those offices, but they never really serve the public. And those of you who've ever been on public assistance, that's what Good Times was. Think about Good Times, Alderman Davis in Good Times. He only came around when it was time for votes, but he never ever really did anything for them to get people in a better lifestyle out of the ghetto. Never did anything, but he always wanted their votes. And when you have people in our industry, they always want your for them it's your money and your time, and they always want you around them, but they never really are there for you, especially if you're doing anything that they feel diminishes the ideology. It's all about the ideology. We got to keep this belief. We got to keep this thing. And I'm telling you, people going next thing you know, people going to be selling t-shirts and hats if they aren't already doing it, and cell phone case holders and all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, they're gonna be having on a pen, know your word. I'm telling you, they're going down that road. And that's dangerous for this industry. The other thing about this, and I mentioned this the other week, and feel free to ask any questions too. If you have a question, I want to try something different. I saw this on somebody else's live stream. If you have a question, put a Q, do it. I'm gonna show y'all. Just type Q, colon, and then your question. Do it that way. It'll help me to see it better, and you don't have to put it in all caps. But probably put the Q in caps, but just do it like that, and that way it'll help me just know that okay, somebody's asking a question, and I can find them if there's a bunch of questions that come in. It'll help me find them quicker and everything. And if you're just making a statement, then you don't have to put anything. But we're supposed to be serving the public. And here's the thing, and I think I said this last week, when you are talking about going to the state and asking the state to increase the fees that notaries can charge, you're asking the state, can you give me authorization to charge the public more money? Because remember, the state never pays us for any of this that we're doing. They don't pay us. They say we are authorizing you that you can charge the public, the general public, this fee for doing the notarial services. So when you say you want $25 and $50, now you're saying I want to charge them more because they're the ones that's paying us. And if that's the case, then you need to make sure what you're providing proper service and you know what you're doing as a notary. And it's not always about the white glove and all these other things that they don't know you're doing. It's about, can you do the notarizations right now? I'm gonna share something with y'all, and I did not know this until tonight. Never had to. Well, this is the first time someone told me. I did a closing tonight, and the guy asked me about. He said, "How long have you been doing this business?" And I said 5.5 years. He said, "Yeah, I looked you up." I was like, "Oh, you looked me up?" He said, "Yeah." I went on Facebook and I saw your Facebook page and I saw your videos you put up there. And I was like, interesting. Because what a lot of notaries don't realize is that they send them a couple of emails, and one to two of the emails will have our contact information on there, and a lot of times our picture. That's why I'm always encouraging y'all to dress nice. I be, don't be out there looking like you're in a club. Okay. Don't be out there looking like you're on the beach. Okay. None of this here bikinis and bare chests for the guys and all, and y'all in a picture, group picture, and you cut yourself out. Take a professional picture in the story. But he said he looked me up. So then I got to thinking, if a customer looked you up, what would they see? If they not just went by what was sent to them from the signing company, but if they actually looked you up on Instagram, TikTok, and the rest, and they saw how you was acting out there, would they be cool with that? If you haven't switched and got you a business profile notary page and they found your personal one with you all doing all that, what would they think of you? And then I got to thinking, I said, maybe that's why some notaries get kicked off for orders because that person looking like, I don't want him in my house. I don't want her in my house. And I've always said, if you out there looking to whatever, and somebody has a spouse that has some commitment issues, and you coming up there looking all, mm, they might be like, nah, I don't need that around my spouse. Nah, I don't want that around my spouse. And I was like, wow. I said, okay. I said, okay, cool. I said, well, hope you hop on the live tonight and everything. But but that's a new one for me that somebody actually looked me up. Said, yeah, I want to check you out, see what was going on with you. I was like, and you can't stop them. I didn't know. And maybe other people have done the same. Because I'll be honest, sometimes I've come into the closing and people are talking to me like they know me. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, like I'm their best friend, and hey man, I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm like, okay, cool, you know, but that's the way it is sometimes. All right. So what I'm gonna do, let me put this link in the chat and y'all can look that up. So let me and just bear with me here. Okay. And y'all gonna have to go back and read this for yourself. But it says, it talks about the difference between ideology and core values. Okay. So it basically talks about, says, core values. Core values are essential for leaders who are looking to make a change in the world. Now, note, core values is about changing the world. Ideology is about changing the world for yourself. Okay. It's about you. It's about just really, in some cases, they don't even care about the world. They just care about their own little world. But it said there are general principles that guide leaders in conduct making decisions. Core values inherently have humility and understanding that issues are rarely black and white. Okay. So core values inherently have humility and understanding. Now, you tell me what type of understanding is there with know your worth, and they need to pay me. Hold on, this might be somebody needing help. Hey, Griffin Notary, Griffin Notary. Hello. Oh, block you. All right. So we have core. It says that issues are really black and white, and for some people with ideology, it's this way or no way at all. You either pay me or that's it. And it says, in other words, core values are an approach to issues and are designed to be applied to any situation as a guide. So in the example they're giving here, say, let's say that one core value is to put the employee's interest first. You can use this core value as a lens to guide your thinking and decide between a variety of options. If the company is facing a down quarter, you consider layoffs, dip into your rainy day fund, or borrow money. If your core value is people first, you may consider the second or third option, which is to dip into your rainy day fund or borrow money to keep them employed. However, your values may say that the company is overstaffed and with the long-term interests of its employees rests on laying off unneeded positions that are weighing the company down. Regardless, the ultimate decision is in this example, core values allow leaders to make decisions within the context that they have previously pre-crisis and identified as important. And one of the things what I'm saying is when you have the mindset, in my opinion, and good evening to you, the mindset of know your worth, in other words, pay me. If somebody comes to you with an issue, comes to you in desperate need, would you, does your ideology give you the leeway to look at them as the person they are and to meet their need without the compensation that you feel that you deserve? And in my opinion, I don't think it does. And if you do it, you most definitely can't tell anybody because none of the other people who have that ideology is doing that. So if you did that, and then they might say, okay, well, okay, you did it one time, but what if you do it multiple times? Would you? And this is why some people with their marketing and advertising, it's like they won't market certain places because there's no guarantee they're going to get business. Because I'm not going to market somewhere where I ain't getting any business. Well, would you really volunteer at the nursing home and do free notarizations? People who got that ideology that me first may not do that. And again, thank y'all for hitting the like button. I keep forgetting to put my banner up. So this is the thing. So core values focuses on the external because the core value is in you. So you're set and you're confident in yourself. With ideologies, you're believing again that somebody is out to get you and you got to protect yourself from them. What I call the Medea syndrome. I'm gonna get them before they get me because I ain't about to get got. And that's how some notaries sound. No, I got something. No, you ain't gonna get me because I got you. I'm gonna go get you before you get me. And that's where the problem comes in at. Now, it says here, and again, I put the link in there for y'all, and I'll put these in the description. It says here, leaders with an ideology are often confused with core values, having core values, but that is not correct. One does not necessarily correlate with the other. An ideology is a set of rigid beliefs that can limit options and constrict decision making into a small box of dogma. I hope y'all follow me on this, and I hope y'all ain't getting too bored with this. An ideology is a set of rigid beliefs that can limit options and constrict decision making into a small box of dogma. And that's what I believe is going on. So when I see that thing of now she knows her worth after getting jumped on. See, ideology people jump on you. Core value people teach and educate you, and they work with you. So that shamecation stuff, shaming, but it's under the guidelines of education. No, 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 no. You ain't got to shame me. If you want to educate me, educate me. Why do you have to shame me? Why do you have to make me feel and look bad? Because they want to break your spirit. They want to break you down so they can pour into you what they want you to believe, what they want you to have in order to serve their overall purpose. And I go to bat against anybody concerning that. Because what other reason? Why? And see, that's the thing I'm having a problem with is none of these folks do that in their W-2. They're afraid to talk up in their W-2, but you become an independent business owner, and now all of a sudden you got to tell everybody else how to do their stuff. I'm not feeling that whatsoever. I don't hear a whole lot about encouraging people in this. I mean, it might be out there, but every time I turn around, it's know your worth. Stop telling people to take this because it's hurting us, and it's everything is about what is hurting to you and to this person, and it really just you. It's like it's hurting us. You're saying us, but it's really about you. This is where we're at now. I don't have the solution as to how to fix this, but I'm just bringing it to light and telling y'all I'm because I'm doing this right here, this video for legacy, so people 2 years, 3 or 5 years down the road, and it because the same thing is going to come around again. I know my worth. I'm in this business and this, that, and the other, and I know my worth. And you ain't going to diminish me. And you so my question is, are you having some kind of personal self issues, some self-confidence, some lack of confidence issues that people have diminished you in other areas of your life, and now you became a notary, and now you're trying to live like you Mr. Big Stuff or Mrs. Big Stuff or just big stuff. I don't know, but I know this much: you can't keep bringing your stuff from over there in here and then trying to get everybody else in the mix. Now, feel free to give me your questions, comments concerning this. What do y'all think about what I'm saying? I would like to know. Um, this is what I'm seeing that's out here. This is and this. I'm just sitting here, like here's another example. I'm serious. Put your questions in here. It says, however, if they were guided by core values and not ideologies, perhaps Congress would be better able to put together workable plans to address our country's greatest needs. And that's what we're faced with, because with ideology, it's about the belief of that group. And it's not about the betterment overall for everybody. And they say it is, but it's really not. And then it says being guided by core values would allow legislators to guided principles that indicate where compromise is acceptable and allow for creativity and consideration of many options rather than dismissing trade-offs completely. And it says ideology does not allow compromise because it is understood as morally superior. And this is where the big thing is. A lot of people I see doing this here, I know my worth and this, that, and the other, and that come at me for when I talk about doing an order under $100. They come with a superiority complex that they're better than everybody, that they're more this and that, and I know this and I'm better than this. They come with this superiority complex, and there's no compromise. There's no compromise. I ain't doing it. No, you ain't about to do me like that. You got me all twisted up in here. Nah, you ain't doing me like that. Okay, it's a $45, 3 pages. That ain't even worth my time. Okay, but it's only 5 minutes. Matter of fact, they gonna come to you and they bring in the document. The reason why there's no compromise, because in order if they compromise in that, they gotta compromise in something else. So they cannot compromise. They gotta keep the dogma going on. They gotta keep the standard of I know my worth, 150. I ain't doing nothing. Somebody, good friend of mine, notary, told me that she was out doing a closing or some type of notary assignment. And I think we'll say she was at a Panera. And a lady came up to her, approached her about it. And she said, well, I'll get with you in a second. I'm busy right now. So she finished the assignment, talked to the lady, and the lady started asking her about how much she paid, how much she's getting charged. The lady basically told her, well, me and my friend, this is like our area, this is our territory, and we don't come out unless it's for 150 or more. That's know your worth ideology. That you're gonna walk up to somebody that you don't know and price check them to make sure that, okay, well, if you're gonna be doing notarizations in my area, in our hood, in other words, I mean, it's almost like a drug dealer. Okay, I'm just using it as an example, YouTube. It's almost like a corner boy. Yo, okay, you can be over here, but you can't be paying, you can't be charging them less than what we charge. We charge, $15 for a bag. How much you charge? 10? Oh no, we can't have that. You're undercutting us. That's the way they came at her. Like, or the individuals came at her like, you're going to be undercutting us, and we got to make sure that you with the program. That's ideology. If you're confident in who you are and in the prices that you charge, it doesn't matter what somebody else do, because you'll have a core set of people who will be willing to pay you when you have core values. But if you don't have core values, if you just got this ideology, you're always worried that somebody's going to undercut you. You're always worried that somebody's going to take something from you. Core values, if you want to go to core values, is like, hey, here's where we at. Boom. This, see, people need to know their work, but not constantly paying the same. Right. See, if you really, yeah, it basically what he's saying is if you really want to know your worth, mind where you're spending your money at and all of that. Now, any question, and look, if you got questions about this, cool. If you got questions about something else in the notary business, with Fritter Friday, I have a topic, but we can talk about anything. Okay, we can talk about anything. Sinuses. Y'all want anything that's going on with y'all for as the business and all of that. Um, but I think y'all get the point, and I'm willing to be wrong in this. I'm willing to put this out here as a way to say, okay, let's have this conversation first of all within ourselves, and then maybe with each other, and let's do some research. Because see, now if you don't do any research into this, then that's on you. And I didn't do a whole lot of deep research. I just Googled what is ideology, what is core values versus ideology. And I like, okay, and I looked at some videos and this, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. Okay, I got it. I got it. That's what this is all about. It's about selfishness. Ideology is about selfishness. And personally, I never really thought too much of it. But when I started reading things and looking, and I'm like, oh, this is about you being selfish. This is about you concerned about what you're going to get, and that other people might interfere with that. So you got to get them in check, because that's what this ideology is about, getting someone else in check so that they don't mess up what you got. That's what it's. I'm gonna get my wife in check, because I can't have her going out in public with me acting a certain way. No, uh-uh, no. I gotta get my husband in check, because I don't want people thinking that I'm a pushover. I gotta show my girls I I run this. I gotta show the fellas I run this. That's supposed to be a team. Supposed to be a team. And here's the thing. I believe this is what really should have happened with that little meeting they had about know your worth, and now she knows her worth. What really should have happened to me, in my opinion, is this. We'll just say her name is Mary. We'll just make up a name. The way I would approach it is, okay, Mary, how about this? And more than likely, she's brand new with this. How about this? If I get orders of this dollar amount, would you be okay with me passing them on to you? Because from a I'm serving the public perspective, even though I may have the ideology of I want to make this dollar amount, No problem. Anybody come for less, I'll send them to Mary and help her get money. Because see, to be honest, with that ideology, you're actually encouraging more competition at your price point. So now you want everybody to be at your price point and you have no edge, but you're thinking that it's worse to no, I got you covered because now you're doing better customer service by saying, "Hey, okay, well, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm currently booked, I'm currently booked, but I have a notary who can take care of you and everything for the price that you have." What's wrong with that? So rather than that, you rather browbeat somebody that you probably don't personally know, or maybe one or two you know them. You rather browbeat them and make them step their pricing up rather than say, okay, well, here's another option for you. So we have people out here in the neighborhood or in the community that can't pay $75. But that's what they said. That's what he was saying. Jeff was saying everybody else charges $75. So other people, okay, $75, but there's people who can't afford that. Well, we have a notary who's willing to do that work for you. What's wrong with that? But people look at that as no, that's lessening them. That's lessening the industry. Who said then where's the standard for the industry? Who said the standard is 75, 150, 200? You see what I'm saying? Let's see what Terry's saying here. He said, I don't know about the others, but I don't think you are wrong on this. If these know your work people are willing to spend as much time working as they spend running their miles, how much would they be able to make? That is true. That is true. You get whatever money you can get. Y'all saw I did a video about it. I picked up a $40 order. Now I didn't try to contact the person. I still ain't heard nothing from them. So I'm gonna go out and try to do this thing, deliver this paperwork to them. It said no printing, but I still got to print some document. So I'm gonna deliver this thing tomorrow after 5 o'clock. Hopefully they are there. And I'm gonna take a picture of me at their house at the address so they'll know that I actually went, and I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna do what I can. I didn't get a whole lot of information about it, but I'm at least give it a try. 40 bones is 40 bones. You see what I'm saying? I don't look at it as diminishing me. But you have the right to be like, okay, well, now I'm not going to do that, irregardless of why you. And there's been times where I've been offered $100 or 150 for stuff, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do it for whatever my reason is. So it's not about always declining low orders. There's sometimes I decline high orders. That's just the way it is for whatever reason. Okay. Was that the two-page document delivery? Yes, that was the two-page one that I got the other day. And I texted the person and I called them, haven't heard anything back. And I'm still going to just go out there. And I already contacted the signing company and say, hey, I haven't heard anything. Do you still want me to go? And see, with as much stuff we got going on out here, people, oh my goodness. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me pull this up for y'all. And please ask any questions y'all got. Hmm. Right here. Right here. Yeah, if y'all got any questions, just drop them in the chat. Now look at here. Look at here. South Florida pair facing 14 felonies in forging building permit scheme, deputy says. Former COO, notary also being sued by former employer, a luxury home builder. And basically, what this is saying, if I can zoom it in, basically, the person they're suing them because while the owner was out, they was falsifying his signature, and the notary was still notarizing it. And it says Santa said she was following standard practice that the company established before she began working there and felt she was doing nothing wrong. And it goes back. So let me go back. Deputy said arrested the former chief operating officer, Galvin, and its former regional director, Shelley, a notary public last Wednesday. According to the lawsuit, at the MCSO arrest warrant during the period of 2020 to 2022, um, Gavin, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Gavin was put in charge of the company while the company's founder, James, was recovering from illness. During that time, deputies said Gavin forged his signature, the owner's signature, without authorization on more than a dozen Monroe County building permit. Okay, so MC, Monroe County Sheriff Office. Building permits, which Sanders 56 then notarized. And then Sanders said it was a common practice, a certain ideology, in my opinion. And then she was fired after the fraud was discovered, and then he resigned, and then they sued him. And then somewhere in there, it was saying that she continued to do notary stuff. It says, yeah, according to state records, her license is currently suspended on Monday. The lawsuit alleges that Saunders continued to try to notarize documents and interfere with stuff, despite being suspended. This is what we got going on out here, and y'all worrying about getting paid. And I'm not saying you don't worry about getting paid, but we got to make sure we do stuff right. This is the kind of stuff that we got going on out here, people. And I don't want y'all going to jail. Okay. I really, really and truly don't want y'all going to jail, but there's a high possibility that some of you may end up going to jail if you don't get your act together. And if you're listening to the wrong people and unwilling to make a decision for yourself and I listen to what people saying, but then I analyze, okay, should I really be doing this? Is what they're asking me to do correct? And then I have to ask them questions. Why do you say I should do it that way? Where are you getting your information from? What are you basing this on? I shared with y'all how the people wanted to take my notary certificate and modify it so it can match what they want. Will a know your worth person tell them no, you can't do it? And then what if they offer additional money? What if somebody said, look, we'll pay you another $100 if you allow us to do this? A know your worth person will now like, wow, instead of getting paid 100, I'm getting paid 200. Okay. See, people with core values will research it and investigate it and say, okay, let me check to see if this is even legal. People who have the know your worth ideology, they just worried about getting that dollar. They just trying to get that money. Ideology people don't research. And you think about it, you pay attention to the folk who got that thought process and see how much and ask them, how much do you research and read your notary laws and understand your notary laws? Very little. Very, very little. They don't do that because it can mess up their ideology. Knowledge messes up ideology. Knowledge strengthens core values. And that is just the bottom line truth. So people who have this ideology, they only read stuff that supports that ideology. If they read stuff that, as soon as they start reading, no, I ain't messing with that. People with core values read stuff that strengthen that core value. But a lot of times, no, people with ideologies, they ain't trying to read and learn anything because they don't want, ignorance is their best friend. The more ignorant I am of something, the more I can keep in my ideology. I don't want to hear about that. Well, let me talk to you about how, no, I'm having, like I did the video about how much money I would have missed out on. I share that video with people who question me about doing low orders, and I never get a response from them. They never respond back. I say, hey, go check out this video where I show how much money I would have lost if I hadn't have done orders under $100. They get in there in the comment fussing about me talking about it. I ain't doing that. That's messed up. Da. Hey, why don't you look at this video and look at it at this point, and so you can see that. And they never respond back because if you believe in a particular ideology, you have to be careful of the information that you receive because it could destroy that ideology. You ain't trying to mess that up. You got to hold on to it. And people are more concerned about holding on to ideologies than true core values and truth. That's just it. You see it in certain churches, in other religious organizations. That ideology Kojic versus the Southern Baptist versus the Free Will Baptist versus the Independents and all this, that, and the other. The Bishop Long people versus Creflo people versus Jesse Duplantis people versus the late Carlton Pearson. All of that. That's what Carlton Pearson got in trouble for because his ideology changed. The way he saw things changed. He had a different view of hell than Oral Roberts, and that became a problem. So when people, that's why it's like we can't get you. We can't have you have a knowledge. We don't look at Griff. Don't listen. Don't look at his videos. Don't hang around people who hang around Griff. If you post my video in certain social media things, they'll kick you out the group because what I'm talking about interferes with that ideology. And I'm not saying that from a standpoint of that I'm somebody great or this, that, and the other. I'm just saying what I push and what I talk about and back it up challenges their ideology. What we got here from Terry? That's because they watch it and have to go back and find out how much money they left on the table. Yeah. To this day, no one has ever had, none of these people have really ever had a true conversation with me about it. And I'm gonna say it like this. Because we know the notary industry has mostly women, and we know it's a lot of Black women in this industry. And we have a lot of single moms in here or women who are currently dating a guy and looking to get married and all of that. Okay. You can't tell me that you would be okay with that man bypassing $30,000 worth of orders every year. That $30,000 worth of orders. If you are okay with your man sitting at home, getting notifications and not taking them because they're less than $100 and they total up to $30,000 that your household is missing, put a one in the chat. If you're okay with that, that you're okay, you are fine with not having $30,000 of income coming into your household because your man feels he's worth more. But the amount that he says he's worth is barely $10,000 that he's getting. And the let's just say the 10 that he is getting is cool, but it could be so much more because 40, that 30 plus that 10 goes a whole lot further. And it does a lot more for the children. It does a whole lot more for everybody. And if you're okay with that, put a one in the chat. If you're not, put a two. If you're not okay with men, if you know your lady is okay with you missing out on $30,000, put a one in the chat. If you know your lady is like, nah, dude, you go out there and get that $30,000. We'll figure out the wear and tear on the car later. Don't you get some tax deductions? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, this is why I don't understand, and I've said this before. The people who come at me the hardest about orders under 100 are young ladies, and most of the time it's the Black ladies in our industry. And I wonder if they was married or dating a guy, trying to have a wedding, this dream wedding. You mean to tell me you would be okay with him missing out on $30,000 which could be put toward your dream wedding, your vacation, or whatever, or to buy a house, to pay debt down so you can get your credit score up. You mean to tell me you're okay with him missing out on that money that could benefit y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I know Mrs. G, she ain't down with that. She's like, nah, you go out there and do what you got to do, honey. And my wife thanks me all the time. She backs me up. She knows I'm tired sometimes, and she'll, and even though she's tired, sometimes she'll tell me sit down, and she'll take care of certain things and this, that, and the other. So I'm sorry, I don't accept this know your worth ideology, especially when we keep saying your worth or is basically what somebody is willing to pay you, not forced. Your worth is what somebody is willing to pay you, not forced to pay you. And if you're forcing them to pay you, if you're giving them no choice that they have to pay you this, is that really your worth? Is it really your worth? Are you really worth that when you had to force somebody by isolating them and telling them, well, other notaries charge double of what I charge? Lying your butt off. Well, it's 75 for me. Yeah, it's just 75. But it should only really be 15. Well, I'm 75 and everybody else is charging 150. Just lying. We should not be forcing the public to pay us. Yes, we can negotiate, but if they're okay, if they're not in a position, I don't want anybody's money who they're not in a position to pay me. That's why I tell the title companies who call me directly, I'm like, okay, does it fit in your budget? And I let them decide, okay, yeah, it does or it doesn't. Okay, what works for y'all? Got it. Because my core value is let's get the job done. That is a core value for me. Let's get the job done. What needs to be done? Now, if you throw an order out there and you say, okay, well, it's 50, okay, I can choose whether I want to do it or not. Maybe today I say no, but maybe tomorrow I say yes. It's like that. And that's the way it is. Huh, I had to do that. But that's what I'm trying to get y'all. So only two people, so everybody else is okay with missing out on $30,000. Wow. Okay. So only two people are not okay with missing out on $30,000. And those are two young ladies. I don't see any fellas. So I guess the fellas are like, man, you can keep that 30,000. I'll just rock with the 10,000 of $100 or more, and I'll just be good. And I'll figure it out. Okay. Okay. If that's where you at, then I respect that. But if somebody else isn't where you at and isn't having that same, respect that and allow them to operate the way they need to for their family. And that's what this is all about because each and every one of you did what? You came into this business for one reason and one reason only, and that was to make money to take care of your family. And when you came in here, yes, you heard the $10,000 a month, but you knew that, well, really, I only got time for $500. If I can make five to $1,000, I'm good. And here's the biggest thing. Do you realize that some people, and tell me what y'all think. I really need y'all to tell me what you think about this. If right now every signing company came out and said we're gonna pay everybody 150, would you be good with that? If you will be good with 150, put a 3 in the chat. Okay. If you will be good, if a signing company came out and said everybody's going to be paid 150, that is the minimum. Every signing company agreed to that 150. Eating some of my grilled cheese sandwich. Mm. Grilled cheese on some brioche bread with ghee butter. Mhm. Some organic cheese. So if you will be okay, if they came out and say, you know what, we tired of all of this fussing about fees, 150. Buyers, sellers, HELOC, loan application, period. 150. You're just gonna simplify it, 150. Do you know that even if y'all got us, we got 150. If we got 150 and had it in writing, every single notary had to sign off on it. Do you know there will be two types of notaries that's going to pop up and mess it up? The first notary is going to be, well, I still do it for 100, but you just fought to get 150. Yeah, but look, I'll do it for 100. That's the first, because you still gonna have people that's gonna do that. And then the second one is, where I live at, 150 ain't cutting nothing. I need 200. So even if you have a signed agreement, there's gonna be notaries that's still gonna be willing to do it less than and want more than. A lot of times, the people who want less than, it's because they're trying to stay out of a particular tax bracket, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. That some people are like, I'm doing just enough to make some money, but I'm trying to stay at this level. So you got some guys out here, and people don't realize there's some men who are doing this notary business. They got two retirements from the military and from civil service, and guess what? They ain't trying to get paid a whole lot. They're okay with doing 85 and this, that, and the other, so they can go ahead on and make that money, but they ain't trying to get into another tax bracket. And then one of the other things that you don't realize is this: some people's belief is the more you pay me, the more you're going to want from me. And what's to say that these signing companies don't turn around and do that and say, okay, we're going to all pay you 150, but we want this from you. And this from you is something that isn't in line with your state law or something you're willing to do. Now the question be, are you going to, now what? Because they said you want 150, here's 150, but this is what we want in exchange for doing that. You have to do what whatever it is. And now the question is, do I want to do that? And then you start thinking about, do I want to do that every single sign? Because the 150, you have to scan. You will scan or you won't get paid. You have to drop same day. You cannot double side print. You cannot email documents. You have to do this, you have to do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. Are you willing to give up all of that for 150? That's the question. So it says, I'll take them all. Any experience will allow me to brand my brand and company to have a great reputation. That is true. That's where you have to stand on principle. That is correct. But here's the thing. You was able to stand on principle and they paid you 85 and didn't question you standing on principle. Now you're forcing them to pay you 150 and they don't care nothing about your principle. So if principle is important, maybe you leave things the way they are and learn to work with, okay, there's some companies it's going to be this month, there's some, got it. But when you force somebody, and y'all know how it is, whenever you force somebody, you force your boss to pay you 3% pay raise when he really only supposed to give you 1%. And that's matter of fact, that's what you earn. But you whined and cried and threatened and this, that, and the other. He gave you 3%. The moment he gives you 3%, he's gonna want more out of you. And you know that. So what makes you think that people in our industry is not going to want more from us if they're paying us more? And this is the danger. You got to measure that. You got to be careful because what the more they want may be outside of the scope of our notary laws. The more they want, yeah, we want you to be able to allow us to modify your notarial certificate to what we wanted to read, even though you follow state law, but this is messing us up. So we need to modify your notarial statement. all because we're giving you 150 instead of 85. Do you agree? Well, no, we can't do that. Okay, well, you won't be getting no more work from us. Come on, tell me people can't do, won't, might not try that. Love my grilled cheese sandwich. So there's probably a whole lot more I wanted to say, but I'm tired. Any questions, comments, concerns, observations? Feel free to drop them in the chat because y'all, it's always open to hear. I love and listening and talking with you and answering your questions and making sure y'all are straight. Now, what's going to happen with the market coming up? Ooh, that's a darn good question. I have no idea. House prices are dropping. Interest rates have fallen. This past month, I did 42, I believe. I think I did 42 house inspections, which was amazing because I was not expecting that. Um let me double check because yeah, I was um and I was actually very, very surprised that I did that much. 43. I did 43. So I'm like, okay, that's a good run. 43, that's a very, very good run, which means there are a lot of potential real estate closings coming up. So Discover, Truist, ABNB, Beach Municipal, Atlantic, Union Bank, Discover Home Loans, M&T Bank, Third Service, Third Federal Savings and Loan. So there are a lot of companies that are doing this, and it's like, oh man, okay, so somebody's applying for something. If I'm doing house inspections, somebody's applying for something. I'm like, bet, okay, cool. Made over 800 bucks. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. 860, made 860 off of that. I'm like, okay, that's gonna pay some bills. And that's $20 a pop. Okay. That was hold on, let me share with y'all. So y'all can see over here 20s. And let me move this here. And then down here in the corner it says 1 of 43. So all these little $20 orders, they add up. Them $20 orders, they add up. They add up. They add up big time. Them $20 orders add up. They add up. And so this is where we're at, people. So question, how do you get into house inspection? So the company, let's see here. Let me log out if I can find it. Let me see. How do you get, because they changed some stuff and all right. All right. So go to this link here and let me bring this up to y'all. So go to this link here and then you click on register now and then fill in um this information and they will reach out to you. And if they have space in your area, so when you submit your stuff, let them know you're a notary. They work with notaries, and if they have space in your area, then they will let you know they have to do it. They might be full, so they don't have any even if they have space, but if they don't have any work coming in your area, then they may not hire, well not hire, but bring you on and they'll ask you for a W-9 and all of that stuff. But this is what you do, and you should be good to go. And matter of fact, let me just send y'all. My bad. Just send y'all that link too, and that takes you straight there. Any other questions, concerns, ideas, thoughts? um, I wanted to show y'all, and I just didn't have time to. I wanted to actually show y'all what it looks like with the FKA stuff. I will work on that, and I'll probably do a video on that and just post it later. But as y'all see some of the stuff that I'm going through and dealing with, it's very important for you to know your notary laws. It's very, very important for you to be able to stand on principle in doing things right. I know the people weren't happy with me, but I had to do what was right. And I've always tell people, if you can show me how I can do what you're telling me to do legally, then I'll do it all day, every day. You know, but the problem is they can't, and they just want, and they've been so used to things being done a certain way that, doing it the right way is a problem for them. So that's why I said you got a grown up decision to make, a grown up decision to make on what you're going to do for your business. Also, let me show y'all this real quick. Y'all most definitely need to pay attention to this. And I put it on the community tab, and I will put the link in here. Um, this here, look at this video, and it's talking about the Corporate Transparency Act. This one is very good. It's straight to the point. It's not a whole bunch of fluff. It's not somebody trying to sell you a course and all this, that, and the other. There's some stuff out there, and people trying to sell courses with. I don't look at that kind of stuff. This here, 5 minutes, 56 seconds. It's a very good video, and it'll help you understand. Um, it'll help you understand what's going on. And in the near future, this month, me and my accountant's going to be coming back on. We're going to be doing a live, and it might be during a weekday. I don't know when, but we're gonna figure it out because he's moving office spaces and all of that stuff. So, any questions, any concerns, any anything that's come up? And look, I know things are slow. I know the notary hype is fading away, and you're starting to realize that maybe what they told me isn't necessarily so. But here's the thing that you need to understand: you have it in you to go out here and make this business be what you need it to be. And you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money with people to do it. You can sit down, come up with a plan, work with people who's willing to work with you and to help you and share knowledge, and go out here and do what you need to do to make the money to take care of you and your family. Because that's what this is all about. You've done this before when you needed a job, and you figured out how to get the job that you probably currently have, or the job you had one or two spots before. But you gotten to a point where you needed to know how to do something, and you figured it out. And when there was nobody around to help you, you figured it out. So now it's now the time for you to figure it out now. You can figure this notary business out. It's not hard. You're just stamping papers. And I understand people are like, well, I'm more than this and I'm more than that. That's fine. Can you stamp the papers correctly? Because if you can, then you're a notary. Okay. You're a notary. But that's where we're at with all of this. So you can do this business. You just have to make up your mind that you're going to take responsibility for your own business growth. If you do, you'll be very mindful of the stuff that people are telling you to do. But if you're all about, now somebody need to hold my hand, somebody need to do it for me, then you're gonna be struggling for a very, very long time. 800 a month. And it starts with, and hopefully, and what area, Terry, where you live in? What state you live in? I forget. I think me and Terry talked, and I don't forgot. But it's going to start from you taking whatever comes. And I understand, and if they're not selecting you, then that just makes it hard. And see, that's the part that nobody really talks about. That notaries aren't getting Dallas. It's gonna, yeah, you're gonna have a tough time out there with them cats. But if you do the orders that nobody else wants to do, and I would say set a minimum driving distance if you can, depending on, let's just say 1 hour. You don't have to do the 2 hour stuff. 2 hour, I'm talking about one way. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? The only thing you really have to lose is zero, meaning before taking the order, you was at zero, and afterwards you actually made some money. And if you got enough tax deductions from the mileage, you're not getting, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, that's more money I can take off my taxable income. So this is your business, Terry. You have to decide where you want it to be. And I keep telling you, if you take low orders now, it doesn't mean you got to take them forever. It doesn't mean you're going to be doing it tomorrow and 2 years from now still taking, $50 orders and all that. But you say, well, that's people that's doing that's on Notary Go and they ain't getting nothing. I pretty much can guarantee you that a lot of those folk don't put their orders in SnapDocs. They don't put their orders in SnapDocs. They haven't crafted a good profile to explain to people who they are and what they're getting out of working with them. They haven't done that. I did a video just recently about profiles. Go take a look at it. That thing, if somebody's not getting something, now you got to ask, what are you doing or not doing? Because a lot of people like to make it seem like, oh no, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. They just don't like me. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do at work, but they don't like me. You came to work late every day last month. And the month before you was leaving work early every day. And then this month you talking about they ain't willing to give you that. No, they're not gonna pay you. No, they're not. Because you have people don't want to believe the fallacies that lie within them. Those fallacies are there, and they nope, nope. I know how to stamp correctly. Every time stamp is upside down. All right, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. We kept it under 2 hours tonight. So again, as always, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hitting the like button, sharing. Look, hold up. Where are we? Let me. I'm gonna drop these two videos in the chat for y'all. Um, this one is about order notifications. And then the next one is where the heck am I? Profile one. Or was it alive? I know I be doing these videos and then forgetting. Oh man. Oh, here it is. Right there in my face. All right. And then notary profile. Okay. Um, go take a look at those videos, hit the like button, hit the super thanks. And if you got any questions, concerns, whatever, just let me know. But like I said, I'm here for y'all. I want to see y'all do the best. And I think you can. And yes, some areas are harder than others, but we'll find a way to get through this. So again, if you need anything, let me know. I greatly appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good one. I am actually gonna finish my cheese sandwich, and I'm going to bed because I got to take my son to work early in the morning. So I'm tired. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.